can't get over the hump of the fourth quarter, and they fall to Detroit. Hello. Welcome into the Rip City Wrap-Up. Dan Marang, Joe Simons, Tyree will be back tomorrow. Bill Walton night.
It is.
Spectacular. That's why Danny's wearing that. Can I get a headband right there? Look at that.
They found one slightly big enough. It's even really not big enough. It's pretty much cutting off the blood flow to my brain. But
we're stretching it out.
Yeah, we're working on it.
We're making it work. Let us know what you think. Use the hashtag RC Wrap-Up. Are you pleased? Are you annoyed? Danny, 53 pointers were attempted by the Portland Trailblazers tonight.
They got
more
them
than
up.
usual.
Yeah, no, I wanted to see the final points in the paint total. I know it was very low.
30
they
for
got
Portland,
it to 30. At one point in time, I believe it was 38-12. So they rectified a big part of that basically in the final 18 minutes of the game. But look, that Detroit Pistons team can go. They can go, man. They've got the goods. J.B. Bicker's great basketball. They're playing. So let's set the table here real quick. The Portland Trailblazers are obviously playing their 8th game in what will be 13 days, because they're going to do 9 and 14, I believe.
In 8 different cities.
9 different cities.
Well, so far
Portland.
8.
Yes.
9 will be tomorrow.
9 tomorrow. It's an obscenely stupid road trip, and the Blazers should be frustrated by it, and the NBA should be talked to about it. It's not.
Well,
it's
it
just
would be better
ridiculous.
to just have an 8, like Chauncey said in the postgame, better to have an 8-game road trip and then come home for the 9th and just be done with it.
And then give them an
Just
8-game
be done with it.
homestand, because it's just like it's absolutely ridiculous. And I'm not saying in any way that was the thing. That's why the Blazers lost, because the Detroit Pistons are coming off a back-to-back, one where Draymond Green snatched their souls. That's about the worst way you can go. Look, it's one of those plays where you go,
Worst way to die.
I mean, it's not even like death by 1,000 paper cuts. I don't even. It's like pouring acid in the wound. Draymond Green is the guy you want taking that shot, and he took it and he made it. It's like, yeah, you're gonna live with it, but boy, you don't like it. The Blazers definitely look like a team that is back home. So I talked to probably 8, 9 guys pregame. None of them have unpacked.
Living out of a suitcase, baby.
Yeah, no, they're like, yeah, kind of whatever's in there. That's
what's going to the bay.
That's what's going on, because they're packing up and they're getting on the plane tonight, because they got to get in there for the base to play tomorrow.
Yeah.
Just talking to guys, you could tell, they're trying to fight it. They're trying to go. It's a job, but you could tell they were.
Well, out of the gate, man, it was pretty rough.
Oh, yeah. No,
and it felt like a team that had been on the road for
slog.
a couple weeks. And look, Jeremy has had the ire of Blazers fans. And
thank God for Jeremy in the first quarter.
Jeremy
first
was
half.
sensational in the first quarter and in the first half. And
Yeah.
they needed that scoring. And Ant started cooking there late in the game in the third quarter. It really felt like this one was going to get away from him in the third. And then Portland clawed back.
It was 18-6 to start the third quarter, and it was like, oh, the lead is ballooning. This is not good.
They had a couple of opportunities late in that fourth. Open threes.
Yeah.
Wap had one. Tumani had one. Shea had one. 53 pointers attempted by the Blazers. That is not what you want from this team. But it is indicative of how Detroit played defense. They clogged the paint. And Chauncey said, you like to get one, either shots in the paint or shots from the outside, and neither were really connecting. If Portland, I think they ended up shooting 30% from 3 tonight. They were 15 of 50 from 3. If they shoot 32%, 33%, they beat Detroit. It was 1 or 2 makes away from the Blazers actually stealing this basketball game. And to go big picture for a second.
So I did just confirm it. It is a season high.
It's a season high.
It's the first time they've gotten to 50.
But to go big picture, we'll dive into that in a second. I'm still feeling good about Portland. They've lost 3 in a row. They're now 4-4 in the last 8. But there's been one clunker out of those 8 games. The OKC game was really the only clunker. You went to overtime in Cleveland. You gave Boston a lot down the stretch. Took a historic performance from a couple of players for Boston to get over the hump. OKC we throw out. This one, again, it looked like Portland was going to lose by 20 or 25 when you got in the third quarter, and Detroit started to run away with it a little bit. Portland claws back into the game. And you got to give them continued credit for the ability to do that, especially because, again, they didn't have Denny Avdia, which is enormous.
Which is a big deal when it comes to points in the paint and having that rim pressure. Isaiah Stewart, for those that don't know, he's the backup big that was swatting everything tonight. Maybe you got a little introduction to him tonight. But I looked it up during the game. I knew he was high. Just doing some research throughout the season, I had seen Isaiah Stewart's name come up over and over and over again about defensive field goal percentage allowed around the rim. And it's not a perfect stat, but when you see the other guys that are in that area,
The company you keep.
yeah, it's, Chet Holmgren is number one. Victor Wembanyama is number 2 or 3. Daniel Gafford, no, Gafford's 2, Wemby's 3, and Porzingis is 4. Isaiah Stewart is 5th. Like,
Yeah.
Beef Stew,
It's
which
impressive.
incredible nickname, is 6'8", maybe 6'9", but he is incredibly strong. So if you try to body him out of the way to create space, you're going to lose that battle more often than not. And then he's got great timing and great vertical athleticism. And so I think he finished with 4 blocks. I think they took one off the board for him.
Beef
No,
Stew?
they did give him the 5th one back.
5.
Okay. Oh, it was the goaltend call that they took off the board and put it back. I thought he was tremendous. He was only 2 of 6 from the field, but I thought his rim protection, his deterrence, those are the 5 blocks that he had. That doesn't even count the number of times he deterred shots, altered shots, bothered shots. And I mean,
Scared people from coming into the paint.
I really loved Chauncey's comment when I asked him about it at the postgame.
Yeah.
Yes, some of our guys realized that Isaiah Stewart's a really good rim protector, and maybe you should give him a pump fake every now and then.
We realized it too late was, I think, the phrase that he used.
And I would imagine it was a little sarcastic. It wasn't.
Sure.
It wasn't like pointed or anything like that. But I would imagine in the prep, it was, hey, don't drive at this guy's chest. He's gonna win that battle, and you could kind of see those pop up every now and then. Ant and Jerry get the lion's share of the credit for keeping them in the game tonight, and I think they did a really good job of stemming the tide over and over and over again. Scoot and Shaden both struggled to an extent where even when the Pistons were struggling in the game, I think the veterans on their team did a really good job of finding their footing just a few minutes before the Blazers. And I don't think, and this isn't like a Scoot Shaden bash session, I just don't think they've had many opportunities to be in these kind of games where
The physicality or
not
the
just
length of the road trip or all of
everything.
it? Daylight saving time?
Yes, that's another thing that kind of feeds in this. But also, looking at how this game went, it is, you know me, I am not a blame the refs kind of guy.
You're not. He's
was-
really not. I know that seems sort of like the antithesis,
No,
but
I'm not.
it's very true.
It was one of the worst officiated games I've seen in a decade. It was horrendous. They had no feel. They had no consistency,
control.
no control of the game.
Late whistles everywhere.
There was 3 late whistles in the first quarter that they were both fouls,
It was almost
but it was like,
consecutively.
what it was back-to-back plays. There was the one on Shaden and then the one that Shaden got, and you could tell guys were getting so frustrated. And I just want to point out the Cade Cunningham technical foul. Mwah! If you're going to earn a technical, taunting a ref after a charge call and just going
That's how you do it.
twice in a row, earn your fine, baby.
And then clapping.
Yeah, no, look, go earn it, love it, embrace it. But you could tell it was a righteous technical of like, look, it's my job to be better, and but can you please stop sucking? It was, I mean, and the thing was, it was a veteran ref crew. But I was talking to both teams on both players as I was walking out real quick. I was like, hey, how'd you think the game was officiated? I got a lot of side eye from guys on the Pistons and the Blazers.
I know this is a Blazers show, but I do want to talk about Detroit for a minute because it is one of the most impressive turnarounds. This team lost 28 games in a row last season. You can't say that enough.
They won 14 games.
I know Kenny Atkinson is like coach of the year with a bullet, but Mr. Bickerstaff has done
he
hell of a
should
job.
finish number 2, and everybody talked about
Detroit.
the Thunder with Mark Dagnall, but this Pistons team is good. Cade Cunningham, man, other than the 8 turnovers, man, did he get sloppy with the ball. But credit to the Portland Trailblazers. They went with a very risky strategy that gave them the opportunity to get back in the game, and that was trapping Cade Cunningham at 40 feet aggressively. And you saw Jabari Walker get a deflection. You saw Duop Reith get a deflection, and it led to them getting in a very serious scramble. And you were like, we're going to live with Dennis Schroeder and Malik Beasley taking threes, which not a good proposition, but it was like we need to speed them up and get them out of their rhythm in order for us to have a chance.
Well, it's fascinating because that was a tactic that we saw Portland use in the road trip a few times, frankly, unsuccessfully. But it worked very well against Detroit today. So in your mind, what is the difference between what we saw where maybe it wasn't working when they were trying to speedy team up when they were beating Portland versus tonight when it was successful?
Ball going hoop, because Beasley got a great look. Schroeder got a great, but that's the thing is like you're trying to speed them up to the point of like, hey, I'm so open, I have to hit this shot. And I think you saw that with the Blazers as well on the other side, where in the final 2 minutes, Detroit sold out on Anthony Simons. They were like, no, you are not going to be the guy to beat us, brother. You've got a 30-piece. We're not letting this happen. So they were blitzing, trapping, and they were leaving Duop-Reath. And I know Duop would kill to have those looks back. He finishes 1 of 8 from 3,
Big
1 of
Daddy.
9. Because
I was pulling for him, so like even independent of being a Blazers fan and like hosting the show and like living in Portland most of my life, like I was just willing for that young man to hit him because he was wide
and
open.
You give Wop those looks more often than not, he's going to hit those. And
1 of 8, tough night for the guy.
It was. And I mean, Scoot goes 4 of 14, 1 of 6 from 3. Shaden 0 of 5 from 3 on 4 of 11. And I think a big part of that is, I don't think it's a surprise that the best players for the Blazers tonight, Ant and Jeremy, were the veterans who have the experience, have the games played, have been in these situations of like, hey, this game is being officiated terribly. There's no consistency. There's no rhyme or reason. There's no consistent pacing. There's no really ways to build consistent plays over and over again because it's so disruptive to like, look, I just need to stick to it, do what I do, and find those opportunities where you could see Shaden had some hesitancy. You could see Scoot lost the ball a couple times, and Teague had the egregious foul called against him. I thought that was a big swing in the game when Cade Cunningham has a handful.
The one down the stretch with the challenge.
A handful of Toumani Kamara's shorts above the 3-point line, holds on to him well into the paint. And I got an explanation from one of the coaches. I'm like, hey, did they tell you what the call was on that? And they said, yeah, he slid into him late. And I was like, so the 15 feet of holding on to Toumani Kamara? Goes, yeah, that's what we thought too.
That's pretty brutal, man.
And look, again, I'm not blaming the officiating, but like if you're Toumani, you're sitting there going, I'm doing everything right. I'm getting held. How am I now supposed to play? Because he's getting the explanation of like, so you're telling me he can hold and steer and dictate to me, but the second I touch him, it's going to be a foul. So how do you defend down the final few minutes? Donovan Clingan got called for 2 god-awful moving screens.
The arbitrary nature of those calls is what is so frustrating because you can't point to a particular thing that Donovan is doing in those screens and saying, okay, big fella, that's why that was a call.
He just crushed them both
It's
times.
almost like the Shaq thing where you foul them a bunch and it doesn't get called because they're so big. Because the impact to the person is lessened, you don't feel like you have to blow the whistle.
No.
And because the impact that you deliver to a smaller player, because you are so big, is why you're being whistled. It's unfair.
Dennis Schroeder got folded up like a car in one of those car compactors one time. You could see his face do the like as it smashed up against Donovan. I was like, that's a good screen. And then tweet, and I'm like, to double down on it, the call was also late. And you're just like, again. And I think the young guys are they're sitting over there like, this is BS kind of a deal of like, and when you're fighting that battle on top of fighting the poor shooting performance, because they shoot under 39% from the field. That's why you lost. But you're fighting a poor shooting night. You're fighting a poor 3-point shooting night. You're getting mauled on the glass. They were minus 13. They did get a couple offensive rebounds late to narrow the gap, but they were getting doubled up for most of the night. They took relatively decent care of the ball. 12 turnovers, 13 turnovers. So it wasn't too sloppy in nature, but it felt disjointed the whole night.
Yeah, I mean, it felt disjointed, and I do think a big part of that is the slow start they got off to, and you are just pushing a boulder up the hill the entire night. And so when you see a call like that not go in your favor,
you're fighting
it becomes really deflating, and it's difficult to, young, veteran, whoever you are, professional athlete, the creeping thought is going to come in at some point, and it's like, what else are we supposed to do? Like, we've done everything right. We're 1 3-pointer away. I play solid defense, and that kind of call is made. And it does swing the momentum of the basketball game, and it's a very frustrating outcome for Portland.
Yeah, no, I mean, you look at the night, you end up with 32 free throws apiece. It was, 51 total fouls called? I mean, the run time of the game was, what are we at now? It's almost 9:30.
Don't get me started.
Yeah, I mean, when I looked down, there was 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter. It was 8:20, and I was like, okay, so we're at 2:20 basically now. This is games are usually long over by now, and I just think the disruptive nature of the game. And again, this was for both teams. Like the Pistons were fighting the same thing.
No doubt.
They just made some plays down the stretch. I thought Jalen Duren was huge for the Pistons. Every time they seemingly needed a bucket, in that late third and the early fourth, they found him for a lob. I thought Cade was really, really, really good. Duren finishes with 18 and 12, and it almost felt like he didn't have that impact early, and then he was just explosive whenever they needed him. They had big threes up and down the board, even though they only hit 9. They just hit very timely ones. And every time they got Donovan in foul trouble, you just saw the Blazers struggle to shut down the water as it came to the paint. And those are the things that the Blazers are going to struggle with when Donovan Clingan's just not on the floor. They just don't, as big as they are, they lose a lot of rim protection, and the Pistons team just put their head down and went at it over and over and over again.
They took advantage of it for sure. Well, folks, I'm sure that you enjoyed this gorgeous weekend that we have. I don't know if you've seen the forecast.
We're back to fifth winter.
Oh, winter is here. It is back, my friends. It's the perfect time to check out the new 2025 Subaru models. Rolled in every day over at Dick Hanna Subaru. That's right. Subaru delivers with that lifetime powertrain warranty. Well, it's in every new car. Experience nice in the car business at Dick Hanna Subaru. Believe it nice. Visit them today and see why a Subaru is perfect for the season and your next big assist. As you can see behind us, and if you watch the broadcast, you know, it is Bill Walton night. Also, great job by Zach, who built that graphic.
Fantastic.
Maybe that is the new permanent background of Rip City Wrap-Up.
We had a Grateful Dead cover band at halftime at Moda.
Let's roll.
There's a lot of Blazers fans singing along.
The vibes were immaculate. And
they were.
Lionel Hollins, former NBA coach, teammate of Bill Walton during the 1977 championship team, had some pregame media availability, had some wonderful thoughts on his friend. We're going to share this with you right now.
What do you miss the most about your friends?
Well, you know, just them being here and being able to call them on the phone and see them on a regular basis, just like with family and anybody else. It's, you know, it's just not having that opportunity to say, hey, what's going on one more time, or how are you doing, those things. But, you know, the older I get, the more I understand that, you know, they are still here in spirit, and that, last night, I mean, we just spent time talking about the good times that we had, and nobody's talking about somebody's passed on. It's about when they were here, and I think that's a beautiful thing as well. And you mourn, and then you move forward, and know that you're going to have conversations, and you're always going to talk about them, and it's always going to be about their life, the funny moments, the silly moments. And you ask about, he was a goofy broadcaster. Bill was not somebody who was above everybody. He was just a regular guy who had unbelievable talent. He had talent to be one of the greatest players that ever played, and if he had been able to stay healthy, he would have been one of the greatest players that ever played. He still was a great player, and Hall of Fame player. And just unfortunate, everybody is not blessed with great health, but he had great talent, and he was blessed with the ability to go out there and compete and play at a high level in the biggest games. The legacy is that we put Portland on the map. I came in the 6th year, my first year, and then the next year we won the championship. And they were showing games on closed circuit TV in theaters all around the state. And that wasn't done before, for sure. And then the aftermath of Blazer Mania went on, and then the sellouts of the arena from the time we were in the playoffs until 1991, I think they sold out every game. That's an unbelievable feat as well. So it was the raising the franchise to a level of adoration by the fans that can't be compared. And nobody really expected us to win the championship. We were playing against one of the greatest teams. We played one of the greatest teams in the finals to get to the finals. The L.A. Lakers with Kareem. So we weren't on the radar to be a team that was going to win the championship, but we believed in ourselves. And afterwards, that whole summer, we held basketball camps all around the city at different city schools. And we became the Pied Pipers. I mean, kids would be at one school, and then they'd follow us to another school, till in the end, we had to use outside courts. And it was probably one of the hottest summers Portland has ever experienced that year. But we had a lot of fun, and we brought the team into the city as theirs. Before, we were just an expansion team, and I wasn't here in the previous years, but I know they weren't drawing very many fans. And even when we first got here, 7,000, 8,000 fans, and sometimes a sellout against a certain team and a certain player. But after that, everybody, they were willing tickets to their spouses and kids, in the future. So it became a real thing to do and be a part of, and we were the foundation of that.
Obviously, very cool night in Rip City, Dan.
No, it was, and it was fun to kind of hear Lionel is talking his ass, so to speak, there of like, we made the Blazers matter. We made them relevant. We brought them to the central stage. We were responsible for energizing this city. And he's right. He's absolutely right. And this guy right here, 32, Bill Walton, that's the MVP. We talked about this the other night. The only player in franchise history to win a title, an MVP, and a finals MVP. He's the only one. I mean, there's only so many organizations that have those. Bill is a one of one. And it was really cool. A lot of Bill Walton's former teammates were in the house tonight. Bill Walton's family was up in the suite tonight. I mean, the extended family. It was everyone.
Yeah, the grandkids with the ball before the game was awesome.
Super cool. Obviously, one of the reasons they wanted to do this game tonight against the Pistons
Luke.
is his son, Luke Walton, is assistant coach for the Pistons as well. And all in all, it was a really cool night. It would have been better if they would have found a way to win. But I will say it was a sold-out Moda Center. It was absolutely
sounded like
packed.
it on TV, Dan.
I mean, they got down, was it 18, and you could hear ooh, this is tough.
Oh, boy.
And they found their way to claw it back in the game, and Moda does what Moda does. And it got loud, and they started to roar. If WAP hits one of those
I know,
threes,
dude. He just needed to hit one.
that place would have erupted.
It would have erupted. I think everybody has a Bill Walton story if you've lived in this city long enough. And one of the few autographs that I have, I still have it. It's in the back of a ticket to a game, 25-ish years ago, maybe close to 30 now. And I saw Bill Walton, and my dad, loved being the lunatic that he is, we bought tickets to this game. We're going to walk in the minute this door opens, and we're going to sit as long as we can in these seats. He's one of those dads, right? If you're going to the game, you're going to the game. And Bill Walton's down there, and I'm like, should I go get his autograph? He's like, go down there. And I'm like, I'm a tiny guy now. I was a tinier guy then. And I walked down to the floor, and you heard Lionel say it, and you've seen the quotes from Dr. Jack tonight about what a man he is.
Yeah.
As approachable as a 7-foot man could possibly be to a tiny child, he was.
Yeah.
And he had his back turned. I think he was talking to Snapper because he was working at NBC at that time, but he could sort of feel my presence. And I just said, Mr. Walton, can I have your autograph? He goes, of course you can. And he signs it and says, enjoy the game. And it was just like a moment that I'll positively never forget. And it sounds so trite, but when you have the marriage of a personality like a Bill Walton that fits a city like Portland, talking about riding his bike and being among the people.
Oh, he's Portland to the core.
He is Portland.
Yeah.
And like you heard Lionel say, we wish it could have lasted longer, but because it was such a supernova when it happened, we still cherish it nearly 50 years later. And to Lionel's point about that group putting the Blazers on the map at a time in the NBA where you had to do something like watch it in closed circuit television on theater because the finals were tape delayed back
It wasn't
then.
until, 83 that they went to their first non-tape delay broadcast.
Basically, when Bird and Magic exploded, that's when the NBA started to become a version of what it is today. But to have that piece of it and Bill Walton be the linchpin, he will always, always be one of the most significant figures, not even in sports, just in the history of this city. Always.
100%. Their ability to ignite the city, have Blazer mania, as it were, to, Bill Schonley and Rip City and Dr. Jack and the Plaid. Like, there's so many things that 50 years later still carry on. Like, the Blazers wear a plaid jersey, the tie-dye headbands and just again, Rip City, like they have a Rip City jersey. Like everything that came out of that era is still like the ethos of the team. And it shows you how just impactful and meaningful that team, that era, that version of the franchise was. And it's a bummer that Bill's not here. That's the reason it's it's a celebration of life.
Absolutely.
A remembrance, a memorial, all of those things. But, basically every time out, I think through the first half, they had some clip that they played. And you could just look around the arena and people are just smiling. It was Bill's career. It was Bill post-career announcing, screwing with Dave Pasch in a way that only he could. The broadcast, the clip that always gets played was towards the end.
The
cupcake, where a lit candle. Pasch is like, what are you going to do, eat the candle? And he takes there's a cupcake with a candle. It's lit. And he just goes, oh. And like, Pasch is just like, it's probably the closest I've ever heard Dave Pasch to using profanity on TV. Because he was like
the most professional broadcaster you could possibly imagine.
And he's just like, what are you doing?
Bill finally broke him.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he tried and he tried. I ran into Bill a couple different times in his broadcasting career. Always had a minute. Always had some absolutely insane story. I mean, it did not matter. Like, it went from one thing to another, to another, to another, and you just sit there and you'd laugh. And he was just so random and joyful and boisterous in a good way. Like, you know what I mean? He just had this magnetism to him that it's as the kids say, aura. But it was real, and it was so genuine and goofy and fun. And I think it matters to highlight the fact that it wasn't always that. There was the distance between Bill and the organization.
Absolutely.
Over the handling of his injuries and how his feet broke down.
The reason it was such a short time here.
Yes, and it was unfortunate, but Bill talked about how he said, look, I made some poor decisions and how I felt, but it took me a very long time, as one does. We see it right now with Brandon Roy just kind of returning to the fold, and Greg. Unfortunately, we don't need to rehash all of the injuries in the franchise's history, but those three gentlemen in particular, Bill, Greg, and Brandon. I mean, Bill got to reach his heights. Brandon and Greg didn't, and it's taken a little while for them to come back in, because you talk about, like, I don't think people truly understand how good Bill was. Like, this wasn't a one-off, like, he was pretty good. He was an MVP. He was the best player in the league, in a league that had Kareem in it.
But his MVP season, so the chronology is they win the title. Mm-hmm. The Blazers team the next season is even better.
Yes, that's
Bill Walton's
his
having
MVP
a better season, but he only played something like 55 games, but he was so dominant in those 55 games. It's like, what are we going to do? He was still the most valuable player in the league, in a league that had Kareem. Like, that is a remarkable feat.
And Dr. J.
Exactly. You mentioned sort of the dour times, but I think joy is the best word for it.
Yes.
And in a season and in a time with professional basketball where the narrative is so often what's broken, what's wrong, all these types of words, Bill Walton loved basketball.
Yes.
He loved it.
Basketball sicko.
Which is why you'd see
college
him
and NBA
doing, a Pac-12 game, Conference of Champions, and doing the whole thing and talking about
no
the
one
colleges.
loved the Pac-12 more than Bill Walton.
No one loved the Pac-12 more than Bill Walton. I mean, he went from a guy who had, and you heard Casey talking about the broadcast, a very pronounced stutter early in his career, which is why you don't see a ton of Bill Walton
early stuff.
Talking, yes, early in his career, to becoming the most loquacious broadcaster that we had in the last 30 years.
An incredibly unique style when paired with Snapper Jones, another Portland legend, was, to me, the best national broadcast crew we've ever had. I mean, you had Snapper and Bill, you knew this game mattered.
That's right.
Like, that was, I mean, it was it's unfortunate because it was... It was always Shaq doing it. But throw it down, big man. Throw it down.
Yeah, the history of Western civilization.
And that's the thing, is he had this style that was so different and unique that stood out, and it wasn't fake. It wasn't forced. I mean, look at this guy. I mean, look how comfortable he is in his, cycling singlet out there, just happy as could be. And it was, it was the perfect marriage of player and franchise and city.
It truly is. And I will, until the day I die, never argue with anyone who says Bill Walton is the best Blazer of all time. Oh. It is a legitimate argument, and I understand where it comes from. And all you have to do is say only MVP, only title, only finals MVP. Done.
Yeah.
The argument is you can say Clyde, you can say Dame, but if you say Bill, go with God.
100%. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. And going back to Lionel, it was. I asked him a question as well that was in there about you guys were a defensive. You had a reputation for a defensive-minded team. You had Bob Gross. It was you. It was Mo. It was Bill. And he's like, yeah, but we got buckets too. And he kind of sat up in his chair. Yeah. He's like, hey, there's no 3-point line. We averaged 113 points a game. And he goes, Jack had us do it again on the line. Practice until it was perfect. And he goes, the 76ers team, they came out here and they weren't thinking about us. Nobody was thinking about us then. And I think we beat them by 43. I think Lionel Hollins knows exactly how much they beat that 76ers team by. But like the identity of that team, Bill was this incredible post scorer. Like he was the archetype before Sabonis. I mean, like that's the
European style, the fluidity, the running, the gunning,
the UCLA offense. I mean, cut after cut after cut, and Bill personified that, and it fed into them. But they were also absolute monsters defensively, and they could get after you. He goes, yeah. The thing was, we would just beat on them, get a big lead, and then we could just do whatever we wanted. And he's like, he basically gave me don't get it twisted. We got buckets.
I mean, it's not hyperbolic to say, Dan, that if this title team doesn't exist, because there's been moments in this franchise's history where maybe the team doesn't stay in Portland.
Mm-hmm. Early on, certainly.
There are times where that conversation happens, but it is difficult to do, God love you, Supersonics, if you have a title in the bank. It legitimizes you in a way. And people can rag on Portland and say, it's been 50 years. You guys are still hanging on to this.
Still a lot of teams that don't have them.
A lot of teams that don't have them.
Look, you look at the back of that jersey, it's always something it just kind of sits in the back of my head. Every time I see a team playing, for those that don't know, the little tab on the back of every NBA jersey, it's gold if you've won a title. The little the logo on the back. And you look around the league, there's teams that don't have a little gold tab for that title. Look, the Lakers and the Celtics, they're the banner franchises of the NBA with 18, but it doesn't happen. Like after you get past those two teams, it's the Spurs, and it gets smaller and smaller and smaller. Like Miami has got a handful with some really good teams, but you don't have a lot of title. Again, the Sonics, the Thunder, like these great teams that we've had. There's not a ton of them that are out there, and whether it's the Suns or the other expansion franchises like the Magic or the Hornets or the Raptors, they get one finally. The Grizzlies lose their team and go to Memphis. They don't. The Minnesota Timberwolves, they've got the Minneapolis Lakers. Those Timberwolves aren't out there.
No.
There's a lot of teams that are out there. They would be desperate to have just that one.
Sacramento. Yeah. There are a lot of teams that don't have them out there. It is it's a special night. He's an incredible man. We all love Bill Walton in Portland and across the country. He's missed.
He is.
He's very much missed. Also, before we move on, Luke's bass always catches me off guard. I don't know if you guys heard the pregame interview with Brooke Olsen, Dan. Luke Walton's the bass in his voice.
His voice is low.
I can't even get to it. It is Barry Green levels of low.
Yeah.
Very, very impressive.
He's got a set of pipes on him.
Absolutely. Okay, the game's over. But the night, Danny, and that headband, it's just getting started, baby.
Ready to party, baby. We're not 10 o'clock yet.
Let's keep those good vibes going with our friends over at Best Day Brewing. Why, did you know it is the fastest growing non-alcoholic craft beer brand?
I did not.
Yeah, it's the ultimate post-game play, Dan. We get to enjoy a great beer without worrying about tomorrow because, let's face it,
it's Sunday night.
It is Sunday night. Shaking off tonight's tough loss. Doesn't need alcohol. Fans make every day your best day. Find your nearest Best Day Brewing retailer at bestdaybrewing.com. Number 18. We're doing the top 25 Blazers of the 21st century.
Which would not include Bill Walton.
Bill Walton did not play NBA basketball in the 21st century. Clyde's not going to be on it. Walton's not going to be on it. But who is going to be on it is number 18. Let's reveal it, Chase. There he is. Sergio Rodriguez. Now, if you look at Sergio's stats, Danny, it doesn't tell the story. Because my guy averaged, 3.6 points a game in Portland. So
some of the sauciest passes in franchise history. Spanish chocolate, baby.
It was a special time in Portland where look at that. That is so late 2000s. I love it
Sergio
so
literally
much.
just hung it up. He just
Has he been playing overseas
Oh
that
yeah,
long?
he's been playing in Spain.
Just being a king out
Oh
there.
yeah, I mean him and Rudy.
Yeah.
Sergio and Rudy, the connection, the Spanish Armada. I remember just the connection those guys having being basically psychic. Like, look, that's a lob from Sergio to Rudy, and it happened over and over and over and over and over again. I mean, the timing those two had, it brought a brand of basketball that was electric.
Was the brand sexy?
Oh, yes. Are you kidding me? Look, Sergio Rodriguez, sex symbol. We can all
No
all
doubt.
say it. But Serge just had Jason Williams vibes, just absolute handles of just a feel for the moment.
Yes, that's a great way to put
he
it.
just knew like, hey, we're winning this game.
Yep.
Let's make it extra saucy. Like
he was an entertainer.
This is the and one renaissance.
No doubt.
And him and Jason Williams, like let me go ahead and put the backspin on the dribble, give you a little hezzy snatch back, step through and then throw the lob up the backside. I feel like that artistry of the game is drastically as good as the game of basketball is right now in the NBA. And it's in the best shape it's ever been in. You're more skilled than ever. When was the last time you saw somebody get super saucy on the regular?
On the regular, it doesn't really happen anymore.
Donovan Mitchell split the defense the other night against the Charlotte Hornets. They try to trap him, pushes the ball through, same hand, right hand, sham god. And it was just like,
well, when you see it is a different era of basketball.
Yeah.
Because like 20 years ago and
this is normal.
This is I think a lot of it is the tail end of it, kind of at the end of the 2000s and maybe the early 10s.
Yep.
And then it kind of locked down a little bit. It kind of became more of the grinded out style for a while. But yes, there was a very white chocolification of the NBA, let me say, with Jason Williams kind of playing basketball in a way where it's like, oh my God.
Him and Nash just hitting no look.
We're
one
allowed
hand.
to do this in the NBA.
I will say, Cade had one tonight. Did you see the leave
did.
that he had, or look away to leave on the backside? I was like, ooh, that was
Scoot had
saucy.
one that Wap missed. Wap was supposed to go to the corner, and Scoot.
Yeah, the no look to the corner. Wap drifted up instead of down because it was off of an offensive rebound.
Yes.
And when a guard penetrates as a big, your natural instinct is, hey, my guy's down at the rim. I got to start checking back. And so he was leaning and kind of drifted up. And he immediately was like, my bad. Because when the pass is that good, you're like, But, I mean, honestly, LaMelo's really the only guy in the league that just plays saucy all the time. Probably to his detriment, but it's...
Do you think it's cyclical, though? Do you think it's the type of style that would become in vogue again? Because obviously scoring is up, but so much of it, I think, is predicated on the three-point shot. And the evolution of the volume of threes probably leads to this declining because you're not having...
Dunks are cooler.
Like
That's
everyone knows dunks are cooler, but threes are worth more.
Yes.
And because, no offense, the nerds have taken over.
Well...
And there is a clear math of, well, if this one's worth 3 and this one's worth 2, we should probably get better and do more of the ones that's worth more.
Yes, but the flip side of that is the most valuable shot in basketball is still a shot at the rim.
Right, because it's the highest percentage
Yes,
shot.
and the rate of return per shot, as long as you're not hitting league expected average, then you kind of work through it. But no, Serge really personified an era that it's kind of it was the redemption of the Trailblazers. Coming out of the Jailblazer era,
Sure.
it's Brandon, it's LaMarcus, it's Greg, but the role players of that era were Sergio and Rudy, and the extra juice they brought off the bench, and even in a short period, like Sergio's an all-time great basketball player in the pantheon of basketball because of how important he was to the Spanish basketball team,
Sure.
the national team. Like the golden era of basketball in Spain was Mark, Pau, Rudy, Sergio, like that. That was the golden era of basketball. I mean, those guys were a huge, huge part of that. And it's unfortunate that his time here was so short. But he eventually went back overseas and played for Real for basically ever. Both him and Rudy went deep into their 30s before they hung it up, and they went and lived as kings. But a lot of these guys on this list in the 21st century, short but very specific things that they did that are just kind of etched into the history of the Trailblazers in the 21st century.
Yeah, and you mentioned it's a really interesting you make with the role players and the impact they have from an energy perspective, because that's something that Portland has developed a little bit this season, and it's been part of the consistency that they've had, and it's been Bari at times getting hot from three in these weird spurts.
Continued tonight.
It really did. Dwap has been good in this run. Tonight was a rough one. I mean, he did have 3 steals, so there was some contribution, obviously rough from 3, but, you know, Delano at times. And the one I look to specifically when you speak of energy is Scoot.
Yeah.
And Scoot coming into the game. And I saw you tweet it. I think it was tonight. They're all blending together now, Dan.
No, he got in
came in
early
earlier than he usually
about
does.
3.5 minutes earlier than usual, and I think Chauncey looked like, okay, they're
I need
flat.
something.
I need some juice. And that's the one thing is I really credit Scoot with this, is that ever since that sit down that he had with Chauncey Billups in late December, he's come correct. Even good night, bad night, whatever it is, it's the right mentality. It's the right level of effort and concentration, right level of spirit, as it were.
No question. I mean, you look at the spirit meter, 7 free throw attempts, 2 offensive rebounds.
I mean, he was getting after it on the glass.
Yeah.
He drew 2 fouls, sealing out bigger guys on the offensive glass. Like, he was making a concerted effort of like, hey, look, we're getting beat up on the glass. I need to make something happen here. It's one of those things where Chauncey Billups has empowered those guys. Like, look, if you think you can get one, go get it. But if it gets a little too sideways, you gotta stop getting in there. You gotta get back.
Get back.
Especially as Scoot, because you're the guy who's supposed to be getting back and setting that defense and not getting beat in transition. I want to say that the spirit meter tonight too, nobody's spirit got higher than Tumani Kamara's. My goodness.
Well, he had another opportunity. A big show pony comes into town. Big show pony wearing the big blue ribbon comes into town.
Oh, baby.
That gets him excited.
Look, Shaden Sharp has the dunk of the year. Tuz is up there. It's not as good. It's
Making a mess of that beef stew.
Look, it was violent. Look, Tumani Kamara's had a couple of
He
these
has.
now, both last year and this year. I think this is his best dunk of his career. I thought it was better than the Walker Kessler one
Yeah, I
last
think so,
year.
too.
Look, Walker Kessler's one of the best shot blockers and interior defenders in the league. Like, that's what makes these dunks so great, is to cock that thing back here. I mean, he had a running start, and Beef Stew, Isaiah Stewart, did not back down. Bruce Ely got a just
He did the Bruce Ely thing.
Oh, God, what a gorgeous.
Beautiful picture.
Look, Two is going to have that one framed up. It's going to be on a poster in the house.
That's in the cave.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Look, when you get a dunk that good on a real shot blocker, you get that one blown up and you get that put in a nice frame. That's a pelt on the wall. It was unfortunate that it went to a timeout right after that, because you wanted to get the replay on the arena over and over and over.
Especially with a sellout crowd.
Oh,
and
yeah,
the vibe tonight. And
I love it, because for the most part in the media section, we're professional. We
yeah, you golf clap it up.
or you look over like, whoo,
Doff of the cap,
yeah,
yes.
a little. Ooh, that was nasty.
Yeah.
Like, there was a lot of lean back, Ric Flair woos, as it were, in the chairs. And Two didn't have the biggest offensive night, but he had the 2 loudest points of the night tonight.
yeah,
That was,
and clearly he frustrated Cade to the degree that Cade had 8 turnovers.
yeah, no, and
He was pressing a little bit, and a lot of that had to do with Two.
Cade Cunningham he is Timothy Chalamet. He is,
Dude, the Pistons are going to be a problem in the playoffs. Like, if they made a run, depending on where they finish and depending on their matchups,
They're very
if they can
likely to
avoid
play the
Cleveland,
Knicks. They're going to play the Knicks in the first round.
if they can avoid Cleveland, I'm talking the second round.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there could be a situation where if things break right,
They're a difficult out.
absolutely.
Jalen Brunson, for those that didn't see it, the
that
Blazers are going to
sucks
play the
so
Knicks
much.
here later this week.
Yeah.
They will be without Jalen Brunson.
That's on Wednesday, right? Yeah.
Yes. He rolled the living bejesus out of his ankle at Lakers the other night.
That's such a bummer, man.
And he rolled it not in a good – I mean, there's
Right.
no good way to roll it, but he definitely didn't roll it in a good way.
Like, you can see where it's like, that's
That-
the bad one.
They said 2 weeks, and look, JB's a tough dude. I will be stunned if he plays again this season.
Isn't that just
Like the regular season.
evaluate in 2 weeks kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean, JB is a tough dude. They showed into the camera going to the locker room. He couldn't move, man. That looked like he's out for a month. I don't think he plays again in the regular season. And the Knicks are a good team, but he is the straw that stirs that drink. And if they don't have him, my goodness. But to the Pistons, even with Jalen Brunson, I was going to pick the Pistons to win that series.
I can see that.
The Knicks defensively, they're not good. Despite having McHale and OG, Cat.
Can we get the Blazer box up,
Has
Chase?
been a problem for them. That matchup is going to be very, very tough.
So there are your Pistons in the 6th seed. They are 1 game out of the 4 seed right now and hosting a first-round series.
Yeah,
That
the Cavs
is
just beat the Bucks
remarkable.
tonight. 14 straight for the Cavs. Let's scroll down to the Blazers here real quick.
There we go.
I want to be the bearer of bad news. The Suns and the Mavs played, and the Suns beat the Mavs. So you drop the Mavs back, but you also lift the Suns up following a Portland loss. They're 4 out with 18 to go.
17.
17 now?
Yeah.
God, my math is terrible. It's not impossible, but you're probably looking at a 90%, 95% chance that they don't.
Let's do the
can't
thing.
do it.
Here we go. We're prepared for it.
Go win. That's a win. Loss. That's a win. That's a loss. I mean,
Okay, so
Warriors on a back-to-back.
at Golden State, 9 cities in 9 days.
That's a loss. So let's just count the wins here.
Great.
Knicks, no. Raptors, win. Wizards, win.
I'm not giving the Knicks game. I think it's unlikely they win, but I'm not giving that one.
Look, I mean,
Because of the Brunson thing and how they respond.
yes, but
and-
you're also getting 1 day off before you can finally settle back. in.
Correct. You get
That
3 days off.
It basically turns into a first road game or home game back because this is kind of the extended streak.
Sure.
I'm counting that almost as like the last road game. Like finally we're home. But then you do get 3 days off. Thursday,
Right.
Friday, Saturday before you take on the Raptors, who they're not a good team. The Wizards are an abomination. So that's 2 wins.
So you're not concerned about the back-to-back Toronto and Washington?
No.
Okay, good.
Not worried about that one after 3 days off.
Okay.
Grizzlies, Nuggets, Celtics, nope. At the Kings, they're fighting for their life on the road. Don't think they're getting that. Don't think they're getting the Knicks. Hawks, that's your first real toss-up game. I'll give it to them. So that's 3.
Well, let's say, okay, now, I think a fair tactic to take
Mm-hmm.
is to say Portland beats the teams they're supposed to and lose the teams they're supposed to. So if that's the case, they should beat Atlanta, Toronto, and Chicago.
I don't know if they should beat Atlanta on the road.
I think they should.
Okay.
I think they should.
Okay.
So we're at 5 at that point.
Okay. So then after that, you're closing out what we got. Spurs, what?
Spurs, Jazz.
Okay. At 7.
And then whoops.
The math just isn't math.
So you have 7 wins at that point, right?
So you need probably 5 to go your way.
So, okay, let's just say you sneak a Knicks game.
Okay, so that's 8. So now you need 4. Where did the other 4 come from?
Well,
Because the Grizzlies are fighting. Now, they don't
Sure.
have Jaren Jackson,
I
but
get it.
they're fighting for seeding. Could you get a Celtics team that's basically resting because they've got the 2nd seed locked up? Maybe. Do the Cavs consider doing that on the end of a road trip? Probably.
you would think.
Maybe. But after that, it's Kings, Knicks, Hawks who are fighting for positioning. I don't see it. I don't.
Well, I don't see it either, Dan, but we didn't see any of this coming, I
No.
think is the overarching
But I
point.
mean, you need to. If you needed 3, if you needed 4, maybe, and you're counting on. How healthy does Denny get? Does nobody else from the Blazers pick up a knock in
Sure.
there? Do the young guys start to get tired down the stretch? Like, there's just kind of like, look, it'd be cool if they made it. I get it. I think the goose is cooked.
Well, I would say this.
To be fair, they needed this one tonight.
Well, we've said that a few times now because it feels like, again,
OKC
in the
in this
exercise
one.
and what we just did, you have to not only take care of business, but you have to win a few games that you are probably not supposed to. Another one of those being tomorrow. But I think the thing that I'm focused on now is, and this is probably a little bit foolhardy because of the space that Dallas is ahead of Portland,
Mm-hmm.
I'm more concerned now about Phoenix at the moment than I am with Dallas. Now, these are 2 teams that are in disarray.
Oh, yeah.
But Dallas is disarray. Like,
It's unpreventable because they're missing. They're playing with
much
7
different.
No. The Dallas Mavericks are so decimated by the curse of Luka Doncic. They have 7 players on their active roster, and because of the transactions that they've made, they have $51,000 worth of salary cap space in a season that doesn't matter. So they're not going to sign a 10-day because 10 days, the full length of the 10-day, cost $100,000. And if they do that, they'll go into the luxury tax and they won't get the payout of anywhere from $18 to $20+ million, of which this new ownership clearly doesn't care because they traded away a franchise for magic beans that have been soaked in alcohol.
So they couldn't sign me for $51,000?
No.
I'd take it. I'll throw in a Mavericks uniform. I mean, look, this is a franchise that put Tony Romo in a basketball uniform. So
hey, look, the Mavericks signed Yogi Ferrell to a 10-day contract. He dropped 30 on the Portland Trailblazers and got a real contract out of it. Like, I've seen this happen for the Dallas Mavericks.
The Yogi Ferrell thing is so funny.
Look, man,
that is just a name in Blazers lore.
Look, the Blazers have had like 4 players do that to them. Like, just sign a 10-day and just go.
Get paid,
bonkers, and get like a full contract out of it. Like, hey, thanks, Portland, appreciate you. But the Mavs are in like,
yeah.
Here's the thing. Like, it's 4 games that catch them, but what'll happen is the Suns will get there because their pick is owed to the Houston Rockets. If they start falling back, there's no incentive for them to like screw it. So they're gonna keep going until it's gone. And I think if you're the Blazers, you're like, the math isn't quite mathing. And I think over the next 5 games, you might see a change.
But, and we've talked about this, how much of a change can you actually make? Because if you look at the
just the young guys just getting more burn.
I understand what you mean, but I think to Blazer fans, it's still a binary decision. It is best draft pick or 10 seed. And you're kind of in this nougaty, creamy center of where both are starting to feel pretty unlikely because right now...
Or some Blazers fans call it purgatory because it's not.
You have the 10th best odds at the 1 seed round. You are 1.5 games behind Chicago, who's in the 8th best position to get the 1 seed. And then after that...
They played the Chicago Bulls.
Correct. But after that, there is an additional 3.5 games. So you're basically in this spot where the best you can probably do is have the 8th best odds.
What is the difference in top 4 odds between 9 and 10?
Between 9 and 10, the difference in top 4 odds, if you're ninth worst, you have 20% of a top 4
At
pick.
10,
if you're 10, you're 13.9.
It's a pretty sizable bump.
6% is pretty big.
At that spot,
absolutely
pretty sizable.
And if you get up to the Chicago spot of the 8th worst record, you have a 1 in 4, a better than a 1 in 4 chance. You're 26%, a 1 in 4 chance at a top 4 pick. So we could be,
I guarantee
the
Trailblazers are running the numbers on this stuff.
Of course,
and going,
oh my God, of course they are.
Okay, what is the probability of winning X games, the Mavericks/Suns losing Y games, and how does that math out?
It's being plugged into the supercomputer as we speak. But if you get to that Chicago level, then
you double your odds.
It's so funny because throughout the course of 2024, when things were looking pretty hairy for the Blazers, we constantly discussed ethical tanking and whether or not it exists. And, we got distracted by losing streaks and winning streaks and all this fun we've had along the way. And here we are with 17 games left to go. And we kind of might be back to where we started, which is rapid development for a lot of players. We feel excited about our wings, Scoot Henderson, Donovan Clingan, a lot of positive stuff to have out of the season. And you still might have a 1 in 4 chance at a top 4 pick. Like, wouldn't that be threading the needle? This team wins, so they have 28 wins. Let's say they finish 30 and, what would that be, 30 and 52?
Yeah.
They finish 30 and 52 on the season.
And all of a sudden they find themselves...
And they get the 5th pick in the draft. Like,
bass backwards into a top 4 pick. I would say that was the greatest possible
pretty good outcome
for the season.
Absolutely.
Like, again, you're threading a needle. It's unlikely to happen.
Sure.
But if you could have your cake and eat it too...
That's what it looks like.
That quite literally would be the best. I mean, the best possible outcome is obviously winning the lottery. Shout out Ben Golliver, who told me the dream is not dead for Cooper Flagg in Portland because they are due for some good luck.
Yes, if any franchise is due for good luck, it is the Portland Trailblazers. And what an optimistic way!
Can you imagine Cooper Flagg's mom
on Bill Walton night to view things?
Can you imagine Cooper Flagg's mom? Did you see the clip?
I saw the clip. I saw the
For those that didn't see it, in the Duke North Carolina game, Cooper Flagg dunked all over the North Carolina Tar Heels, and his mom gave a on his bleeping head. And I was like, that mom would do numbers in Portland on the social metrics of just pure unadulterated love.
I'd love to get the Brooke Tuttle interview with
with Coops with
Coops'
Mrs.
mama?
Flagg. Oh, you kidding me? Give it to me.
Sounds great. So Warriors tomorrow.
Indeed,
This is
Warriors.
It rolls on.
It is.
So 7 p.m. The Warriors are good now because of Jimmy Butler?
The fighting Jimmy. It turns out, having the All-NBA player on your team who gives a damn about
Starts
basketball.
to care again?
Yeah. It's wonderful.
It'll be fascinating to see.
They're going to look very, very different from the last time you've seen them against this team.
Speaking of narratives, it's so interesting because we're like, all right, the new guard, the young kids are coming in. OKC, Cleveland, and is this going to be
Same
the
as it
Lakers
ever
and the
was, yeah.
Warriors? Like
Remember, that's what you close the season with is Lakers Warriors.
Yeah.
So get used to them.
It'll be fascinating. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for Bill Walton and Bill Walton's family for everything you've done for the city of Portland. I mean that
Absolutely.
sincerely. An incredible man. He brought us our only title. Thank you so much for watching. Tyree will be back tomorrow. Will Danny be wearing a headband still? Will this background still be there? It better be. I'm going to text some important people and see if they respond at this late hour.
They don't check your messages.
Thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. We love you all so much.
Bye.